The interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Guccimane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Guccimane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
Now, when you come back from that, understand what you just heard. Because if Gucci don't take that stand, this case feels different immediately. Not over, but different. And the reason is simple. This case needs a human center. Data can build a timeline, but people are what builds belief. They got location data, they got movement, they got social media pictures after the fact, but none of that hits like a voice on the stand. None of that hits like somebody saying, this is what happened to me. And that's why his decision matters, because he's at the center of the case. Now let's go deeper, because this decision is not just legal. This decision is cultural. This decision is strategic. This decision is personal. And all three matter at the same time. Let's start with the culture, because people like to act like that don't exist. In hip-hop, perception is everything. Image matters. Reputation matters. And Guccimane has spent over 2 decades building a certain type of image. Not just an artist, but as a figure in the culture. Silent, aligned with the streets. A man who never looked like he needed the system. A man who looked like he would never help the system. Right or wrong, that image is real. And once he takes that stand, people gonna look at him differently. That's not a courtroom issue. That's a cultural issue. And in hip-hop, that matters just as much. So now you start understanding the decision. Not agreeing with it, but understanding it. Now let's talk strategy, because it ain't just about street code. This is about business too. This is about what gets exposed in court. When you take that stand, everything will open up. Relationships, contracts, business deals, disputes, things that could have stayed private become public record. And if you Gucci, you got to think about that. You got to ask yourself, is it worth it?
No video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more. I'm going to take like 1 or 2 questions and then we're going to scoot.
Is it worth stepping into a federal courtroom and having everything around this situation picked apart? Now let's go back to the case again. If he don't testify, the government still has a case, but it becomes harder. It becomes more technical. It becomes less emotional, and juries can feel the difference because data don't connect the same way people do. A person on that stand can move the room. Data just fills the space. And that's why this is such a big deal, because it changes the energy of the case.